Hello everybody, long time no see. Apologise if there's any shenanigans in the background there because the dogs are busy fighting husband and Satan, the dog. Finley looks oh so sweet and he's not, he's evil. So please ignore the wild eye look situation. I was just doing a little bit of experimentation. I was just going to put on a bit of foundation just so I looked presentable for the video, but then I ended up messing about with makeup which is ultimately what I end up doing. So it's a little bit crazy, and it's, you know, this is not a typical standard of my makeup. It's just me messing about with some different products that I've not used before. So anyway, a little haul. It's actually a house and homeware. Well,
it's a decorating haul.
Yes, this is. I know that I've been gone for a little while. I had my dissertation to do, and you will be seeing more content from me. And I know this is not the exact most exciting. Welcome back to my channel. But I just thought we would document the fact that we're actually renovating the living room, and I just thought it might be quite interesting to see it because I have often renovated a room, even just when I did the bathroom, and I just got 2 new cabinets, well, 1 cabinet and some things to put in it. It totally changed the way the bathroom looked because I ended up getting rid of loads of stuff, and I really wish that I'd actually filmed that. Pretty much the same when I renovated the makeup room. I wish I'd filmed that progress. It's just quite nice to look back on. So because we're doing quite a lot in this room, I thought it'd be really interesting to kind of talk you through what we're doing and so film the progress of it. Now, we've already started and we've emptied a lot of stuff out of this room, so I'm going to be showing you it, and it's already part started because this is just an idea that came to me, and I'm going to have to do this in parts because I can only upload 15-minute videos to YouTube from my iPad. Now, I can film longer videos, no problem, but I can't then move them onto my computer and edit them because obviously they're filmed on the iPad, so that's Mac. And yeah, so anyway, I can't do that, and I can't save big video files on the iPad because I literally have so many things on it. I actually use it for work, so yeah, we'll get into that. I will update you on the program, what's going on with that as well. Anyway, here's a little haul. So Alec got us some things. Lighten. Sorry. So what's happening is, I'm going to show you, we had a problem. I don't know if I talked about it on my channel last year, but our dining room floor collapsed in the corner, and basically what happened is when the builders came and they took up the flooring, we had to replace half of the floorboards, and when they actually went underneath, they found that the people who I'd paid to do the damp proofing when I moved in here 24 years ago now, I paid them a good amount of money to do the wall ties, and they replaced the floor in this room. They did all the damp proofing, and it hadn't been done correctly. So basically they had to replace the damp course in the dining room, and they had to put down new floorboards. I apologise if the light keeps going a bit strange, it's because I'm in the window. Okay, there we go. Anyway, so we had to get all of that done in the dining room, and then we decided at that point, because we ripped up the laminate to do that, we decided that we wanted to go for sort of, Finley? No. Just sit down. So we decided that we would just leave we wouldn't put any floor covering down. We couldn't afford to replace it anyway, but just the idea that we would quite like to sand the floors and have like just, you know, floorboards. I like that look. I really didn't like the laminate over much. I mean, I liked it when it was down, it was okay, but I really like the traditional look. So we're going to go and throughout the house and kind of go back to where I probably, if I bought this house at an older age, would have started with the decorating and done it in this style, which is more of a gothic style, which is definitely part of kind of my aesthetic. Yes, I love Disney and things like that, but I quite like the darker colours, sort of like Harry Potter meets horror type thing. So we've kind of made a start in some other areas, like we've got a horror wall started, like a gallery wall on the landing, but how many minutes have I been talking for? I don't want this whole video to be, well actually we'll make this like a little introduction video. I'll get this uploaded without editing, so I apologise if there's lots of things that should have been cut out, but yeah, this video will be like an introduction to say, hey, I'm back and this is what's happening. So yeah, okay. I'm so well organised today. My house is just in disarray. Anyway, so we're going to be going a little bit more how I would have done it originally, let's put it that way. So it started with, we got these blinds fitted last year. It was a Christmas present from my mum and dad. And these are great. I'll show you them shortly. Well, I'll show you them in the next video. See, I keep forgetting already. I'm going to show you them in the next video, just like what colour they are and things. And that's kind of what started this whole process. So anyway, the dining room floor got done and we're kind of living with half old floorboards, half new. So that is going to take probably getting a professional sander machine in to sand down the old boards to kind of get them as close as we can. So it's a bit more of a bigger job in there. Other than that, that room's pretty much done. We've got a tiny little bit of plastering to do where the damp course caused some of the plaster to come off. Other than that, once we get that bit of plastering done and we've done the floor, we can just paint the walls and that room's actually done. So that's pretty good that that room's like that, because the kitchen, whole new story. We need to obviously save up quite a bit for that because I want to completely renovate the kitchen. It's 24 years since it got fitted and there's a lot wrong with it. So we want to rip the whole kitchen out. Anyway, I'm wary of the time, so I'm not going to keep waffling. But then anyway, so in here we noticed we had a few floorboards that were a little bit saggy, just around the fireplace area. And so we decided that we'd get them to come and basically do the floor. I'm not working very many hours at the minute. Alec is part-time, so which has been impacted on by the pandemic because he'd normally be doing another job somewhere else as well as overtime, and that's not been quite the same. So my mum and dad are actually helping us out with the floor, so we're really grateful for that because that's going to make such a huge difference for us. So we decided that we had just a little bit of money that we could put into actually just buying a few things that we could actually then decorate this room and kind of almost have it done. In the actual vlogs, I will let you know the things that we haven't been able to achieve just because of finances and that we hope to do next year, but we'll point those out as we go and then you'll be able to see the things that we need to finish in this room in the future, but we'll get a lot of it done. Anyway, he went to Poundland and he got some brushes. So these are the Dip It In premium paint brushes. These are £1, and I know it seems silly to say, oh, this is £1, give you the prices for Poundland. But in Poundland, there are a large amount of products now in there that range. Well, there's some £2, £3 and £5 products. And I think in my local one, I even saw a £10 product. That was before the pandemic. But yeah, so it's not always clear cut that Poundland means it is just £1 anymore. But anyway, he got some plastic drop cloth, because we're going to be painting, and although we might do the majority of painting, big fly, we'll do the majority of painting actually in this room before the floorboards are replaced. We still may need to do some painting and touching up, so we wanted to be able to cover the floor. Also, when we stain it, before the wax goes on and before it's actually sealed, we may need to cover just the area that we're walking through to get in and out of the house. So he did get that for £1. And then he picked up 2 of these, which are the Rock and Roll mini roller kits. So you get 1 of the rollers, 2 of the long shaggy type rollers, and 2 of the more foam shorter rollers. 2 of those because there's going to be me, Alec and Tony decorating. So yes, we got them. And then he was also at Wilko. I'll do that last actually. Apologise. Okay, this is actually from B&M, not B&M. This one's from eBay, and it is the 4-piece foam brush set, and I think that was $2.99. So got this basically because we're going to stain the floor ourselves. We decided that it was going to cost a lot of money to pay somebody to do it, and because the floorboards are going to be fresh, like freshly cut from a machine, it's like they've just been sanded, they're going to be really nice. So we want to actually just stain them ourselves because they're going to be ready to stain. We don't have to do any prep other than wiping them down with white spirits to make sure they're completely clean. So we're going to stain the floor ourselves. So yeah, that hasn't arrived yet, the stain for the floor, and some little floor grates to let air flow through. And I'll show those in another video, but those are bought from eBay and haven't arrived. The next 2 things are from B&M, and this is the Harris 7-inch roller set. So this is a medium roller. You just get the roller and one refill in there. These are Harris, so they're actually really good, and that one's £3. And then he got the large roller set, which is £3.50. And you get 2 of the rollers in there, but I think there's only one handle. But I think we do have another handle somewhere else. But it doesn't matter, because basically, here he is. Here comes trouble. So, yeah, because there's a medium roller, there's mini rollers, and there's the large roller, it just means that we have got enough rollers for everybody to be painting. So you got those, and then at Wilko, you paid £1.50 for this Flexi Paint Pad. I've never used one of these before. It actually feels quite nice and soft. I don't know if this is going to be quite good to put the wax down on the floor after it's stained, but we'll see. Oh, this was from Poundland as well, which is the masking tape. Everything is interesting. To a Jack Russell. What's in there? What's in there? Anyway, so that's £1, and you get 4 rolls of that. And then the paint that he got was this one from Wilko, which is the Wilko Colour Matte Emulsion for Walls and Ceilings. And this one is in Pure Grey 004. So they were £12 each, but they were actually on offer 2 for £20, which is actually really, really good value. And we have used this paint before. Now, if you haven't used this paint before, the paint is good, and a lot of people would say to you the paint is not good. It is good, but the thing with this paint is that when you roll it on, when it's wet, you can't keep going over the same area because it takes it back off. That's the only thing with this paint. So you roll it on and then move on to another area. So basically, sometimes it means that you would have to go back in maybe with a second coat just over the areas where it's lacking a little bit once it's dried. But that's the only thing about this paint. But it's actually very good paint. We did my daughter's room with this, and we actually were very impressed with the finish. I've not actually tried their matte ones before, but this had really good reviews on their site. And the great thing about Wilko's site is there's photographs of people's rooms, so you can actually see what it looks like. The one that I had wanted to go for was from a different range of theirs, but it was still a Wilko paint, and that one was £16, and it was called Supernova. But when we saw the pictures on the site, on the reviews actually, my husband couldn't get Supernova, so he rang me and we kind of agreed on this one. And then it was funny because I went on like the reviews and we found some ones on Supernova, and the colour was just, it wasn't great. It was more bordering on black. And while I'd love to paint this room black, and we have talked about it, we did just decide to go a dark grey in here, and that we might go black in the dining room. So considering Supernova for the other room. But we thought that a really, really dark grey would be really nice in this room. Now, I know that sounds a lot, but the room actually is quite nice and bright because we've got a really big, huge bay window. We've got a white ceiling. So we think that this room can take it. So that's basically a little home haul for you. Excuse that I have foundation. Look what I did. I painted my hair with foundation today because, you know, that's how it goes. So anyway, yeah, I finished my dissertation. I am currently working, but luckily enough, 2 of my positions are from home. One of them is self-employed. I just did my first tax return. That was really daunting and exciting and kind of an experience because I had started doing some self-employed last year when I started my master's. So I did my tax return for that, and I'm currently still doing that job. But I was just doing note taking. Now I'm doing note taking and student support. The student support is incredibly rewarding. I'm loving it, and I'm just watchful of the time there. So yes, I'm still doing the student support. I signed up with the company last year, and then I couldn't continue with the post because they couldn't actually move into my area because there wasn't enough interest for the tutoring services. So that kind of fell by. But then she contacted me again in September and asked me if I would do it remotely. So I do online tutoring 1 hour a week via Skype. And then I've just got a job at a local college, which is only 6 hours a week, but it's teaching A-level psychology, different exam board, EdXL instead of AQA. But that is also exciting. But I will update you further on all of that stuff in an upcoming video. And so that's it. I'm aware it's about to hit the 15-minute mark, so I'm gonna end it here. I apologise. There's all sorts of shenanigans going on here. So this is a good place to leave it. Bye.